open it. I was looking for it. So this is what we call a grid. Items are placed side by side. It can be 3, 3, 2, 2, 5, 5. That's just what we call a grid. There's another thing we call splits. Most of us have seen this. Splits is just two items placed side by side each other. So you can see this is like a login, sorry, it's a registration form. And they're telling you everything about the company on one side. And on the other side, you have the form. This is what we call a split layout. So there's another one we call a single column layout, right? Single column layouts are for like things that are text heavy. You've seen this in probably you're reading a privacy policy, usually used for companies' privacy policy. They'll just outline it like this, right? Because why? It involves a lot of text. If you look at privacy policy pages, there's a lot of text. So this is just a beautiful way they can just showcase all those texts and arrange them in such a way that is appealing and it's not too much for the user. All right. So that's just basically the different layouts we have. We have grid, we have splits, and we have single column. All right. So let's go back. All right. Okay. So I scrolled too much. I scrolled down too much. Okay. So now another thing we have is scenarios and typography. Now, scenarios are detailed description of a user, what we call a user personnel. A user personnel. What a user personnel does for you is that it describes who a user is. It describes who a user is. Let me just be opening up an example. So I will just be opening up an example. While we are waiting for that example, I'll go back to explaining. All right. Now, a user personnel is a description about your user. Who is this user that is going to use this product, right? Like, for example, a mobile app, a mobile e-commerce app. Who are the persons that are going to be using it? The person might be a student, right? It might be a student. It might be from age. As students, we no longer have students that are getting into university at the age of 15 again, right? I want to say from 15. Some students get into university by 14, but that has stopped, right? So let's say 16 to 30, 16 to 30, because we have some really good, really and when we call people old, they will take it as an insult. But we have pretty elder. Sorry, that one's even worse. But you get this. So let's say 16 to 30, right? So the thing about scenarios is painting a rich picture, right, of a set of events of your user first of all, the user first of all, then a set of events, the teams, set of events rather. So teams can appreciate the user interaction in context, helping them to understand the practical needs and behavior of the users. You will not know. That's why you see that most banking applications, right? Like old people cannot really use those things, right? Because the text, they use glasses because as you grow older, your eyes and some part of your body starts, depreciating. They use glasses, so they need to be very big. They're very big, right? I have somebody that when she wants to read like a message, you say, help me to. There's this thing our mothers do say. When you show them a picture, they will just carry their hand like this on the phone, and you'll do like this. Let me see the picture very well. I don't know if you've seen that, right? So when you're now designing a screen for the elderly, you make the text extremely big, and everything is just big, big. Why? Because you are designing for the elderly, and the elderly they have some eye defects and they can't really see their screen properly, and they need things to be really bold and just in their faces, right? So these are all what we call scenarios, right? Who are you designing for? Okay, what will happen in this particular page? Painting that picture out so that the UI designer can now come up with a design that is friendly. All right. So in UI, we have what we call typography. Now, typography is the act and design of arranging type. What we call type is text. Anywhere you see type, just know it's what? Text. To make written language legible, readable, and appealing when displayed. There are some people that will take a screenshot of their WhatsApp chat, and I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Why are you using this font? Why is this slant? And why is this so zigzag? Okay, you took a screenshot so that we can see your chat. Now we cannot even see your chat because your font is so bad. How are you even seeing? Right? Why? Because the text is not appealing to your eyes. And that's why when you go on websites, you go on mobile apps, they don't use so much fancy text. They don't use too much fancy and call it cursive text, right? Why? Because they want it to be visually appealing. They don't want it to give you an eye strain. So the arrangement of type involves selecting what we call typefaces, point sizes, line heights, letter spacing, line spacing, spaces between pairs of letters. We are going to be looking at all these things. What is line spacing? What is letter spacing? What is line height? What is what we call, there's something we call kernel, and there's another thing we call is it funnel, right? These are just simple concepts we are going to be looking at in typography, right? So I think I've done a good job. They are the ones that will tell me if I've done a good job. They are the customers, right? In explaining what UI is and what UX is, and how two of them come together to form a role we known as what? UI UX design. And we've looked at the different aspects of UX, and we've looked at different aspects of UI. The different aspects of UX is the interaction design, wireframes, scenarios, and user research. And when we come to UI, we talk about typography, we talk about colors, we talk about graphics design, we talk about visual design. So all these two things, they just mesh together to give us this beautiful feed called the UI UX design. It's a beautiful role. And if you're a graphic designer, or used to be a graphic designer, you really enjoy, transitioning into UI UX, right? It will place you out there for more opportunities. All right. So we are going to take a 5 minutes break very soon. And when we come back, we are just going to be diving into more practical things. I'm going to be taking through the different platforms that UI UX designers design for. It's not just websites, it's not just apps. Now we have computer systems that have screen touch. They have screen touch devices. Now we have smartwatches. We have smartwatches. We have smart devices. We have so many iOS smart devices, right? Do you know that a UI UX designer designs for those things as well? So when we come back in the next class, we'll look at platforms that a UI UX designer designs for, and we'll look at the stages of design. How do we go from having all these rough ideas I'm talking about, all these abstract things I'm talking about, to having a beautiful design that a user can be comfortable with? So we are going to take you through that process. And we're going to be looking at most of these things we've talked about. We are going to be looking at them one after the other and the role they play and the things you need to understand for you to be a very, strong designer, right? So we are about giving you a strong foundation. If you don't know all these things, you can't be a great designer. So that's why we are starting with these foundational concepts. And so we're going to be going on a 5 minutes break very soon. When we come back, is during the second class, we're going to be taking our attendance. For those of us that was not on the call yesterday, we took our attendance with Google Form. So I will paste the link on the chat. When I want to paste the link, I'll tell you I'm pasting the link on the chat. The link will be open for 15 minutes. So you are free to fill that form link. You are free to fill the form link. All right. So before we go, do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? Because we're going to go for a 5 minutes break and we'll come back by 4:05. So do we have any questions? Okay, Ernest, yes, you can speak. Yes, Ernest, I can see your hand. You can speak. Okay, or are you typing? Can we all hear Ernest? Can we all hear him? I don't think I can hear him. Or what's going on? Okay, I can't really hear you. Is it my network?